Hi, Andrew here. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to test some 7.62x51 ammo. Today we're taking a look at TulAmmo 154 grain soft point. I'm going to fire it from my Springfield Armory. I know, boo, M1A. Let's head up to the range and fire it into some 10% calibrated ballistic gelatin. Okay, so obviously this is very deep penetration. Total penetration is 22.9 inches. Stop here in this block that I used to back up the main block. Of course, you would disregard this and this. These are from other shots for other tests, totally different cartridges. This is the track that we're looking at. The expansion is almost instantaneous with virtually no neck, maybe half an inch. The temporary stretch cavity is easily 10 inches long by 4 inches wide, with little bits of fragmentation throughout. We don't see a lot of really big fragments in here, so we may have some fairly decent weight retention on this, given it's a cheap Russian bullet. There we go. Get some of this cleaned off here for you, maybe. Yeah. Get some of these boogers out. You can see the petals curled around very evenly. Huge expansion. And honestly, fairly decent weight retention. It's not going to be 100%. We'll get some measurements when we get home, but that looks pretty good. Again, considering it's a cheap Russian soft point. Okay, so what do we think? Well, first of all, go commies. This is actually some pretty decent performance for being cheap Russian ammo. The weight retention was very high. It expanded huge. The penetration did exceed the FBI 18-inch recommended maximum. And if you've been following this series much, you know that I personally don't find that to be that big of a thing. Yes, some of you find it to be very important that we keep the penetration under that FBI 18-inch maximum. I personally feel like extra penetration is better than not enough penetration. Cue the bad jokes. But the bottom line is that it's extremely unlikely that you will fire a round that passes through a bad guy and hurts another person. I know of no example that that's happened to for a person who's not in law enforcement, who's acting inside of their home in a legal manner. If you know of an example, please post it. I'd love to hear about it. In this case, the performance was absolutely excellent in regard to personal defense, except for that penetration, depending on whether or not you find that to be an important factor. And of course, it'd also be useful for hunting. Now, does that mean that it's a good choice for defensive use? And I know some of you are saying, well, wait a minute, didn't you just say that it's a great choice? Well, no, I said that it performs really well, terminally speaking. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good idea to choose cheap Russian steel-cased ammo for defensive use. So there's the terminal effect, and then there's the fact that Russian ammo may not actually really be all that reliable, and it could cause problems in your rifle. Generally speaking, rifles should run on steel case ammo for the most part. If your rifle can't get through a mag or two without choking, then there's something wrong with that rifle. But the quality control of Russian ammunition is not as good as for Western brass-cased ammunition, so the possibility of a failure is a little bit higher, and it runs dirtier. And steel cases don't obturate to the chamber in the same way that brass cases do. Altogether, it could induce a malfunction, and it has a higher probability of inducing a malfunction than Western brass-cased ammunition. All of those things together make it maybe not the best choice. However, it's cheap as dirt, and you maybe you want to stack a whole bunch of it for zombie nuclear apocalypse. If you think I got something wrong, if you disagree with my conclusions, if you have some questions, leave a comment below. As always, like and share and subscribe. Engaging with the video tells YouTube the sort of stuff that you'd like to watch. And if you want to see more gun videos, engage with the video. Have a great day.